Like my mic was on for that. So welcome to tonight's Midwest High School Hockey League game broadcast between the visiting AIM Cyclones and your Dubuque Saints. Teams are taking the ice. Warm-ups are underway. We'll get started here in about 4 minutes. just about underway here in Dubuque. Ames comes into today's contest with a record of 10-6 and 10-6. 10-6. They were victorious over the Saints in the JV contest earlier this year in Ames. They chased Trevor Breen early in the third period, so look to get a little back at home today. Ames has a number of players on Team Midwest that actually play JV too. Cian Baumgart is leading the team in scoring. He's got 13 goals. He's tied with Ryder Borat, also with 13 goals. And his brother Weston Borat with 10 goals. Ryder and Weston both have 11 assists. And they led in goaltending by Chase Molden. Puck's down and we're underway. Played out to the far side. Cooper Smith sends it into the zone. Wyatt Powell tries to run it down. Expecting icing there and didn't get the call. Played to the corner. Powell walks it out to the face-off dot. Gets the shots blocked in front. Bouncing puck back to the blue line. Knocked back in on the stick of Matt Mitchell. Mitchell works it down the far side. Sends it to the corner. Powell picks it up there. Tries to play it back to Rainfart here. I'll think of it later. Baumgart in the corner now. Cooper Smith chases him there. Ames has it. Battled on in the corner. Back behind the net it comes. It's played out the near side. That's Carter Mullenkamp. Takes a trip. No call. Very blatant trip. Michael Pohl sends it to the far side. Elsie Sukuchov gets over there to play it in. Ames sends it to the neutral zone. Back to Owen Troush. Played ahead. Borat's got it there. Carries it into the zone. His shot. Saved by Trevor Breen in net for the Saints tonight. See if we can move that over so we get the stupid wall out of the... There we go. Looks like T's up for the draw. Puck's down. Back to Troush in the corner. He'll play it ahead to Blake Schrader. Knocked off the boards. Ames gets a shot. Eaten up by Green. Waddick. Waddick's the name. Stupid camera still got part of the wall. T's back to the draw. That's not T's. T's is on the wing. Puck's down. Forced out to center ice now. Michael Poles has it. He'll carry it in the zone. Tries to hop over one. Can't quite do it. Back to Elsie. Elsie tries to play it back to Owen. It goes all the way back into the defensive zone. Owen hard off the board. Just held in by Ames. Taken away by Poles at center ice. He'll race it into the zone. Turns him around. Shot. Off Molden. Straight up. Actually, I'm not 100% sure that's Chase Molden. Now played into the Dubuque defensive zone. That is Chase Molden. Randall plays it over to Waddick. Waddick circles back behind his own goal. Taken away there by the Cyclones. Now played back up to the near side. Battled on there. Waddick's got it now. Plays it back to his defensive partner, Mullenkamp. Smith. Up ahead. Dropped off there. Palmer sends it into the zone. Back behind the net. Behind the net again. Circle around. Backhand pass thrown out in front. Collected by the Ames, and they'll carry it out of the zone. Out to neutral ice. Waddick flips it back in. Bouncing puck knocked down there. Ames will send it back to neutral ice. Palmer knocks it away. Plays it off the far boards. Now Ames will dump it in. Green has it. Plays it back to Mullenkamp. Mullenkamp over to Cooper Smith. Long stretch pass out to Lund. Lund carries it to the neutral zone. Rolls off his stick. Ames will knock it back to the corner. Lund takes a big hit. Ames has it. They'll wrap it up the far side. Taken back by Dubuque. Much more physical game than what we saw on Thursday against Cedar Rapids. And that's just 4 minutes in. Elliot Troush Says physical game, that's where I specialize. Takes away on the slot, shot. Saved by Mullen, another shot. And he'll hold on for a whistle. 11:28 gone, or left in the first period, I should say. Shots on goal favor the Saints, 3-2. Puck's down. Back to the point. These jerseys are hard to identify players. I get used to seeing them look one way, totally different. Shot on Breen. Easy to identify because he's got the mask and the big pads. He holds on for a whistle. Also, I want to shout out, we did hit our 500 subscribers. Our 500 subscriber was Camilo Ruiz. Camilo, your players' fees are due at the end of the month. Puck's down. Meehan sends it back up the boards. Troush has it there. He'll play it over the Ames defender's head. Taken into the other zone by Jack Fugger. Now knocked back out by Ames. That's offsides. Taken back in now by Randall. He'll send it towards the net. Ames tries to spin away there. Now back behind the net again. Ames defender skates around to the far side, plays it out to the wing. They'll advance it through center ice into the attacking zone. Tries to get it around Troush and Sukachov. Covered by Breen for a whistle. Welcome to the 14 fans. Let's start our way to 600. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We get Waddick out there with Powell and Max Mitchell. Played back to Owen Troush. He'll try and wrap it around the back of the boards. Ellison Sukachov sends it back to the corner it came from. Now it's Powell up the boards to Waddick. Battle for there. Powell will circle back behind his own net. Plays it off to Troush. Sends it out the near side. A little too hot for Elsie to handle. All the way back to the blue line. Ames will dump it back behind the net. Picked up there and sent to the far boards. Now dumped back in again. Chip, bouncing puck out in front. Breen will cover for the whistle. 10 minutes on the dot left in the first period. Still scoreless here in Dubuque. Ethan tees to the draw. Wins it to the near boards. Controlled by Waddick there. Now they'll play it up the half wall. Ames in the slot. Shot just wide of the net. Loose puck. They'll send it to the backside. Cooper Smith back behind the net. Waddick's got it there. Off the half wall. Out to center ice. Ames spins. Tries to get it back in the zone. And they do. Blake Schrader. Big hit up against the boards. Green plays it to the corner from behind the net. Played up. Out to center ice. Ames will control there. Aerial pass hits the scoreboard. That could be the first time in 10 years I've seen someone hit that scoreboard. We'll get Palmer, Lunge, Waddick, and Cooper Smith out. Puck's down, controlled by Ames. Take it back into the defensive zone. Now they'll work it up through neutral ice, chipped into the Dubuque zone. Waddick back there. High off the boards. Sent ahead by Palmer. Taken away by Ames. They'll carry it back in. Shot wide of the net. Bounces up and lands on the top. Breen will cover it there. Shots are 5-3 in favor of Ames. Carter administration back on defense now. Played up the boards. Sent through the slot. Lund tries to center it to Palmer. They don't quite connect there. Now loose puck scooped up. Sent out to center ice. Saints will advance it into the zone. Walked around one. Loose in the slot. Ames fights it away. Sends it to the near boards. Back out to neutral ice. Meehan can't quite hold it in there. Battles for it. Sends it over to his partner Carter. Now it's Molenkamp. Up through the middle to Palmer. Chips it into the zone. Elliot Trout, man on a mission. Hard into the end boards. Loses the edge. Someone came diving in head first. Now played out to the far side. Holy cow. We got players falling awkwardly into the boards all over the place. Meehan behind his own net. Drops it off there for Molenkamp. Molenkamp will send it back to the net and plays it up to Meehan. Meehan stretch pass up to Palmer. That's not Palmer, that's Fugger. Stupid jerseys. Randall battles it back into the near corner. I'd also like to thank our jersey sponsors as I continue to mock their jerseys. They are very nice. Just a different look. Tied up behind the net, Meehan battles two Ames players there. There's another Dubuque player there too. Now the whole swarm moves forward, leaves the puck behind. Knocked away. Ames will fire it on net. Blocked away by Molenkamp. Sent to the near boards. Centering pass is knocked away there. High off the glass. Back out to the center ice. Ames dumps it back in. Right on Breen. That's not instant offsides anymore. Refs are discussing it. That isn't. In the past, if you dumped the puck in and there was a player offsides and the goalie touched it, that was instant offsides. They changed the rule this year, so that shouldn't have been an offsides call, and the faceoff will come to center ice. Which is actually worse. If they had just taken the offsides call, the faceoff would be just outside the zone. I'm sure the refs are explaining this to the coaches. I saw Austin say thank you. What a polite boy his parents have raised. Foul in for the draw. Won by Ames. They'll force it forward. Taken away by Waddick. Directly into the bench. What a catch by the Ames coach. Foul back into the faceoff. Puck's down. Controlled by Ames. Now taken away by Waddick. He'll send it into the zone. Foul chases it down. Ames player loses an edge there. Tries to send it out in front. Glove down. Max Mitchell shot. Saved by Molman. Loose puck. Ames fights to get control. And they'll work it back out to neutral ice. Baumgart carries it into the zone. It's poked off his stick by Elsie. Played ahead to Powell. Powell gets it up to Max Mitchell. Carried it out of the zone. Fired back in by Ames. Collected by Powell. Cross ice pass over to Elsie. Elsie sends it forward just in front of the Ames bench. Max Mitchell attacks. Now played all the way back to Troush at neutral ice. Off the boards ahead to Powell. Powell gets it just out of the reach of Michael Pulse. Into the zone. It's blocked there. Ames now. Top of the slot. Collected by Elsie. Played out of the zone. Straight up in the air. Glove down by Michael Pulse. He drops it off for Owen Troush. Maybe not intentionally. Gives it back to Pulse. Dances around one. Gets a stick caught in his gut. Now played into the zone by Dubuque. And that's offsides. Icing. Got to be icing. We get teased out there with Schrader and Randall. Played back. Waddick sends it out of the zone. Glove down by Ben Muir. Might rival Max Mitchell for height. Big kid. Schrader battles for it on the far board. Plays it back to the blue line. Sent across ice by Ames. Waddick's got it there. Chips it off the boards. Out to center ice. Gets by Van Meer. Pull centering pass. Schrader stopped by Molden. And we'll get a whistle. We'll get Palmer out with Lund, Waddick, and Cooper Smith back on defense. Palmer to the dot. Face off one back to Waddick. Waddick at the blue line. Sends it on net. Just wide of Mullen. Loose puck. Golf to the near corner. Net's off. Net's off. You in the stripedy shirt. The net's off. He sees the net's off. Oh, look. He blew the whistle. Oh, the net's off, you say. Would have never guessed. Palmer back to the dot. Maybe not. Oh, sprayed the water on it. That'll get it every time. That net is going nowhere. Face off down. Ames controls. Sent through the crease by Lund. Now Ames up the near boards. They'll work it out to center ice. Into the attacking zone they come. Sent right through the slot to the near boards now. Back out to neutral ice. Yes, this is not a high-speed physical or high-speed skill game that we saw on Thursday. This is taping on the foils hockey. Carried to the far side by Ames. They'll send it back to the blue line. Shot. Deflected in front. Kick to the corner. Randall battles for it back in the corner. Got Cooper Smith there with him. Sent behind the net now. Ames has it momentarily. Waddick backs into one. Randall now out of the corner. Plays it ahead to Fugger. Taken away. Randall scoops it back up. Back over to Fugger. Fugger advances it up the ice. 3-on-1 for the Saints. That is not the 3-on-1 play as his shot is saved by Molden. And it's Ames the other way. 1-on-5. That is the 1-on-5 play. Shoots it wide. Picked up on the near side by Molenkamp. Plays it up to neutral ice. Board chips it into the zone. One of the boards. Green behind the net. Stops it for Molenkamp. It's chipped up the near boards to Elliot Troush. Out to center ice. Fugger runs him down. Seeing Baumgard plays it up the near boards. Fugger now back into the zone. Tries to cut back to center ice. Picked up by Troush. Loose in the slot. Ames will play it the other way. Into the attacking zone. The Cyclones come. Taken away by Powell. He'll go behind the net. Hard off the boards. Out to neutral ice. All the way back to Molden. They'll stop it there. Plays it ahead. Ames circles back behind the net, though, to regroup. Looks for the long breakout pass. Maddox Mitchell took up half the net. Cut that down. Shot. Bouncing in front. Still bouncing. Now out to center ice. Ames will take it in. Baumgard across the blue line. Knocked away by, is that Molenkamp? Yep. Now it's played back to Molenkamp. He'll send it behind the net to Meehan. Meehan picks it up in the far corner. Off the boards it goes. Max Mitchell gets it out to neutral ice. Mouth guard down. Black mouth guard should be disallowed. Through neutral ice. Ames plays it back up to Bort. Bort walks around Meehan, taken away by Molenkamp though. Now on the half wall, Ames takes it back through the slot. Again through the slot, just wide. Molenkamp's knocked off the puck, but Waddick picks up. Bouncing puck out to the red line. Bad change for Dubuque. Right up the boards to Poles. Michael turns it over, loose in the slot, saved by Breen. Another save by Breen. Lost it, no. Now it's Meehan. Backhands it off the boards. Gets it ahead to Poles. Catches Ames in a bit of a change here. Poles wipes out at the top of the circles. Wipes out again. Someone put some sand down at the top of the circles. Played back to Elsie. She sends it ahead to Blake Schrader. Elsie battles for it at center ice. Knocked off the puck. Ames will advance it across the red line. Dumps it into the zone past Troush. Troush back to get it behind his own net. Works it out the far side. Plays it ahead to Schrader. Chips it ahead to Tees. And Tees and pulls down the ice. 2-on-2. Sent towards the net. Loose puck. Pulls. Nice. Centering pass. Nobody home. Now it's Troush. Fires it in. Chase Molden with the save. 1:14 left in the first period. Shots are just about even. 8-9. Like I said, it's been a very physical game. Puck's down, won by Ames. They'll advance it out the far boards. Hits the break at center ice and turned over there. Lund sends it back into the zone. Molden blades it off to the corner. No call there. Terrible no call there again. Did the ref bring his whistle tonight, or are we just calling pucks off the peg? Still held in by Dubuque. It's sent down into the corner. Ames takes it away. Sent out to neutral ice. Back to Owen Troush. He'll send it ahead. Played back in. Elsie's got it now. Cross ice pass is blocked. Ames picks it up. High slot. Blocked by Troush. Now bladed out to the slot again. Taken away. Out to neutral ice. Ames will dump it back in. Troush back to get it behind the net. He's got his brother streaking across the middle. Apparently not the play he's looking for. Now it is. Up to Elliott. Troush. Taken away by Ames. They'll counter into the zone. Shot. Saved by Breen. Scoops it up for a whistle. And with just 9.5 seconds left in the first period, we'll send out Cooper Smith, Waddick on defense, and they'll join Randall, Fugger, and Elliott Troush. Puck's down to the middle. Oh, nice poke check by Waddick. Ames still alive. 5 seconds left. Wrapped around. Shot pops straight up in the air. And that'll do it for the first period. So after one, score is tied 0-0. Varsity scores. Waterloo's ahead of Bogie 3-1. And the Mohawks and Stars are tied at 0. Puck's down and we're underway. Max Mitchell tries to carry in the zone. He's knocked down. Ford sends it into the zone. Back behind the net. Breen stops it there. Waddick picks it up. Leaves it for Randall. Randall plays it around the near boards. Baxter dumps it back in. Out to the far side now. Seeing Baumgartner sends it over. Forward shot. Gloved down by Trevor Breen for a whistle. Puck's down. Controlled by Molenkamp. He sends it around the boards. Michael Poles can't quite pull it off. Aims to send it back behind the net. Meehan back to get it. Sends it over to Molenkamp. Schrader sends it up through the zone. Knocked back in by Ames. Board there. Chips it back behind the net. Molenkamp back to get it. Around the near side, it's Blake Schrader. Walks it out to the middle of the ice. Played ahead to Tees. Tees will work it into the zone. Gets the breaks at the half wall. Sends it over to Schrader all alone. Sends it on net. Knocked down by Michael Poles. Knocks it down again behind the net. Ames will try and bring it out the near side. And they do. Molenkamp can't quite glove it down. Baumgart chases Meehan all the way to the corner. Meehan plays it behind the net to Molenkamp. Up to Schrader. Schrader picks it up, advances it out to center ice, sends it over to, I can't tell, Lund. Lund knocked off the puck. Schrader's got it, sends it out in the middle. Played back to Schrader. Now down to the corner. Back behind the net, Palmer plays it. Troush comes off his spot, sends it towards the net. Loose puck in front. Still bouncing in the slot. Now Ames seems to have control. Plays it out to the far side. Back to board in the middle. Good shot blocked in front by Owen Troush. Back to the point. Baumgart's got it there. Blocked by number 20 for Dubuque. Too many men for Ames. So the ref does call penalties. That's so nice of him. Dubuque will be on the power play first. Jack Fugger out with Michael Bowles, Cooper Smith, Blake Schrader, and Tyler Randall. I haven't seen Tyler Randall taking faceoffs tonight, and he's arguably Dubuque's best faceoff person. Sure, there's a story there. All right, as I say that, Randall comes to the dot. Ames wins the faceoff. High off the glass, over the head of Schrader. Michael Bowles back to get in his own defensive zone. Circles behind the net. Comes off the far side. Plays it off to Randall. Randall's pass is blocked in front. Schrader's got it now. Off the end ball. Randall sends it out to neutral ice. Forces it forward. Skates himself off sides. And we get a whistle.
At 12:49, Max Meyer serving too many men at 12:49.
Played into the zone, shot just wide of the net, bounced out the back loose, so couldn't tuck it in. Mullen didn't know where it was. Fugger now walks out to the near side, gives it up to Schrader, back to Fugger, back to, stolen. Schrader will race it all the way back to his blue line, now hits the gas and comes up through the middle, taken away just inside the zone, played back. Bowles and Randall try to control it. Now it's Fugger into the zone, top of the circles. Plays it back to Poles. Ames all over them, and they'll race it up the other side. 1-on-2. Set on net. Covered by Breen. Teased into the dot for the faceoff. Still 42 seconds left on the power play. Puck's down. Controlled by Dubuque now finally. Long cross-ice pass knocked down at center ice by Ames. They'll play it back to neutral ice. Saints wait to get back on side. Dump it into the zone. Tease chases it behind the net. Can't quite get there first in the corner. Now it's Lund. Down to the corner. Battles for it there. Ames will knock it back behind the net. Palmer battles for it there. Back to the other corner. Lund sticks in. Rugby scrum and sleeves. Now we got it. Into the corner. Played back to Tease. Penalties up. Played over to the near side. Knocked loose. Carter Mullenkamp sends it into the zone. Ames will try and bang it out the near side. Held in by Meehan. Up through neutral ice. Meehan pokes it loose again and again. Now gloved down by Ames. Played around to the far side. Carter Mullenkamp avoids the ref. Now played back to Meehan. Meehan sends it over to Palmer. Palmer circles to the corner. Hard off the glass. Oh, almost had Fugger going. He'll pin it up against the boards. Ames accelerates through center ice into the attacking zone. Hit shot. Saved by Breen. He'll hold on for the whistle. 9:57 left in the second period. Shots on goal favor the Cyclones. 13-10. We're still scoreless here, though. Tyler Randall to the dot. Maybe I just have to call it out. Runs it back to Owen Troush. Troush sends it ahead. Elliott can't quite pull it down. Randall battles for it on the half wall. Kicked over to Ames. Tries to spin away from one. Back to the point now. Give him back down the boards. Troush ties his man up there. It's Randall. Hard off the glass. Out to Fugger. Sent back in by Ames. Collected just outside the blue and brings it in. Now it's Fugger. Spins back up the near boards. Bounces off Baumgard. Just outside the zone. Baxter's got it there. Plays it into Owen Troush. Kicks it out to the far boards. Plays it ahead. Fugger's got it. Just outside the blue line. Dumps it in. Molden blades it to the corner. Picked up by Randall. He'll circle back on the end wall. Tries a wraparound. Might not have been the best play. Troush holds it in at the blue line. Back down the boards. Chipped it by Troush. Now it's Elsie 1-on-3. Nice defensive play to hold him off. Bouncing puck. Corralled by Troush. He'll send it around the boards. Not enough speed for icing, but gets it back to the Dubuque defensive zone. Played back by Ames. Board's got it now. Top of the circles. Glove down by Green. Another save on Baumgard. Now it's Randall. Plays it ahead to Max Mitchell. Works to the far side. Hits the breaks at the dot. Fires just wide. Wyatt Powell now picks it up. Circles back behind the net. Pops out the far side in the corner. Wheels from the tops of the circle. Sends it on net. Loose in the slot. Controlled by Ames, and they'll clear it out. Played down to the corner by Ames. Waddick picks it up behind the net. Kicks off to Cooper Smith. He'll play it around Max Mitchell out to center ice. Bouncing puck just wide of the net. Waddick over to get it. Knocked off his stick. He regroups. Plays it up the middle. Ames still manages to hold it in. Feisty, these Cyclones. Cooper Smith up the glass. Nice fake shot. Fired just wide of the net. Ames on the far side now. Dumps it down to the corner. Back behind the net. They'll pick it up. Sent out in front. Tied up by Waddick there. Now a big hard pass. Ames has got it high slot. Blocked in front by Waddick. Got a stick. Loose puck. Just off the end of Max Mitchell's stick. Everyone is falling down tonight. I blame that Troush guy who sharpens his skates. I only blame him because he's probably in the rink not listening to the broadcast. I can't identify anyone when they're looking at me in these jerseys. Played back to Mullenkamp because he turned around. Sent around the far boards to Poles. Poles gets it ahead just out of the reach of Tees. Ames counters. Back into the zone. Behan pokes it loose. Bouncing puck knocked over to Poles. Oh, good. The Ames players are falling down too. Maybe Charles sharpened their skates. Poles up ahead to Blake Schrader. Ames takes it away. Sends it back in the zone. They're offsides though. Played out to neutral ice. Michael Poles now into the attacking zone. Ames quickly counters and sends it back the other way. Mullenkamp all the way back. Drops it off in the corner for Meehan. Meehan on the boards now. Long cross-ice pass. Offsides are Ames. Said one of the words you can't say on television. Oh, it's the coach's son who says, calm down, son. We got Palmer into the dot for the faceoff. Elsie and Owen back on D. Twin Towers. Puck's down. Elsie races over to get it. Baumgartner beats her to it on the far side. He'll take it back behind the net. Tries to send it out in front. It's blocked there. Ames got it again. Still a man in front. They'll walk it up the far boards, poked off his stick by Palmer. Aims for Goop to center ice. Now sent in. Dubuque is offsides. Dubuque is offsides. Dubuque is offsides. And the ref holds his hand up and says offside 6 times. You would think that'd be a good indication, but they are teenage boys. You have to tell them 7 times, ref.
They said that I couldn't do it, so I wouldn't did it. That was you only you wanted.
Palmer back to the dot.
Top of the world, you know, I'm not.
One back to Owen Troush. Sends it off the boards. Deep into the zone. Ames will pick it up behind their own goal line. Played out to the near side a little too hard, a little too fast. Elsie's got it in her own defensive zone. Tries to spin away from one, gives it over to Board. Board centering pass. Goes unconnected, but Baumgartner's got it in the corner. He sends it down, back down the corner. Elsie throws an elbow into it. Ames now. Board walks it behind the net, sends it out in front. Charles knocks it to the near corner. That along the boards, now knocked back to the blue line. Aims a shot, high and wide. Lund to pull it off the far boards. Centers it. Board takes it away there. Walks it back behind the net. Knocked into the near boards hard. Sent to the far side where Lund is. He gets it out of the zone. Ames about to get a penalty. Holding on Borat. Ames coaches don't necessarily agree with that. I didn't see it. But I think it's their job as coaches to not agree with calls against their players. Power play unit of Smith, Poles, Huger, Randall, and Schrader out. 5 minutes left in the second period. Ames still ahead on shots, 18-11. Still scoreless. Puck played over to Poles, top of the circle, fired just wide. Comes over to the far boards to Randall. Randall's got it, plays it down low. Cross ice pass, hits Poles in the skate. And CM Baumgart will carry it out of the zone into his own attacking zone where he runs into Blake Schrader roughly. Tyler Randall now the other way. Into the attacking zone, drives wide of the dots. Takes it out to the far side, plays it back to Blake Schrader. Schrader from the blue line, dumps it off to Randall from the top of the circles. Cross ice pass stolen by Baumgart. And he'll send it into the stands. It's an odd penalty kill strategy, but 1:19 left on the power play. A little girl went and got the puck. Maybe he knew her. She threw it back on the ice. She probably didn't know him. Randall into the dot. Ames wins it. Sends it into the zone. Green will stop it behind the net. Schrader picks it up there. He'll bring it out the far side. Find some space on the far side now. All the way down below the goal line. Wraps it around behind the net. Hits the break. Sends it out in front. Bouncing puck. Kicks the poles. He'll send it back towards the board. Schrader picks it up there. Played back to the boards to Poles. Poles has to send it out of the zone to retain possession. Schrader has it there. Played across ice. Tees hits the brakes. Back to Schrader. Schrader into the zone. High slot. Dances around one. Gets tripped up. Passes back to Fuger. Held in by Dubuque. Poked away now. That's offsides. It hit the player. These refs, I tell you. Played the length of the ice and stopped by Breeden behind his own net. Tees it up there for Palmer. 13 seconds left in the power play. If we're going to do something, let's do it quick. Molenkamp up the far side. Taken away by Ames. They'll send it back to their own defensive zone. Meehan's got it there. Cross ice pass. Molenkamp scoops it up. Wheels it back up the boards. Taken away by Ames. Molenkamp has it there. Played up. Sent back to Meehan. Behan in the corner, plays it back up the boards lightly. Sent the link to the ice, got a touch, so no ice. Landon Lund raises it all the way down. Aims a play out the near side. Lund takes an awkward fall to the boards, too. That's the fourth one I've seen today. Aims into the zone, has a man in front. Just wider than that. Tries the long breakout pass. It's stolen by Ames. Green without a stick. It kicks to the far side. Ames down to the corner now. On the face-off dot, blocked in front by Elliott Trout. Mullenkamp back behind the net. Plays it off to Palmer. Palmer sends it out. It's held in by Ames at the blue line. Huger has it now. He'll play it back behind the net to Mullenkamp. Mullenkamp off the boards. All the way out to neutral ice. Ames sends it in. He didn't touch it. Another bad call by the refs. Behan behind the net. Fakes one way, goes back to the far side. Laid around to the near boards. Boric sends it out the middle. It's taken away by Randall. Walks it down to the goal line. His shot. Saved by Molden. Randall takes an awkward fall, too. Taken away by Ames. Boric has it. Chips it out to neutral ice. Troush plays it back to Elsey. Elsey ahead to the other Troush. Ames D2D in their own defensive end. 1 minute left to play in the period. Kick back to Elsey in her own defensive zone. Elsey will circle back behind her own net. Sends it ahead into the Ames bench. Puck's down. Controlled by Ames. They'll send it back behind the net. Worked it back up the boards. It's knocked out by Ethan Tees. Out to Waddick. Plays it out the far side. Ames spins it back out to neutral ice. Knocked away by Tees. They'll play it back up to Poles. Poles walks the red line into the attacking zone. Shot. Knocked wide by Molden. 20 seconds left. Ames, long stretch pass up the board. Knocked off by Schrader. Ethan Waddick will walk it up. Actually, that's Alex Waddick. All the way into the attacking zone. Bouncing puck. Taken away by Bort. And that'll do it on the second period. So still scoreless here in Dubuque. Shots on goal favor Ames, 18-13. We'll take a break, clean the ice. See you back in about 15 minutes. Back to live action here in the third period. There it goes. Ames has it. They'll play it out to neutral ice. Baumgart's got it there. Backhands it back to Cooper Smith. Plays it up to Mullenkamp. Mullenkamp sends it up the boards. Held in by Baumgart. Ames will try and spin it down to the corner. Mullenkamp's there. Plays it back to the corner. Battles Boric there. Kicks it up the boards. Now it's Wyatt Powell. Out through center ice. Gets it over to Max Mitchell. Puck's down. Thrown by Dubuque. Michael Poles will try and send it to the corner. It's tipped away by Ames. Glove down by Poles. Ames spins it out to the far side. Poles back to get it. Sends it back into the zone from the wrong side of the red line. That'll get us an icing call. Ooh, it's the third period. Let's update the scoreboard. Third period. Schrader into the faceoff. Puck's down, sent back to the blue line. Ames dumps it towards the net. It's blocked in front. Bulls will try and pull it off the boards. Sends it out, blocked by Ames. They'll turn it down to the corner. Played back to Owen Troush behind the net. Bangs it hard off the end wall. Sent out in front. Bouncing puck collected by Ames. Hits Troush right in the foot. I think I heard him say ouch really loud. Maybe something similar to ouch. Now it's Blake Schrader in the attacking zone. 1-on-2. Hits the brakes. Loses one. Shot. Bounces off the front of Molden. Aims out the other side. Across center ice. 1-on-2 the other way. Saved by Breen. He'll kick it to the boards. Blocked in front by Pulls. High off the glass. Out to neutral ice. Sent back in by Ames. Collected there and back into the zone. Waddick pulls it out of the corner. Sends it back behind the net. Advanced out. Knocked off the stick by Ames. Now it's Cooper Smith. Questionable call there. Breen with a nice save. Waddick out the far side. Gets it out to neutral ice. Back to the Ames blue line. They'll play it ahead. Waddick sends it the length of the ice for an icing call. With 12:47 left in the third period. Ames leads on shots, 20-14. Still nothing on the scoreboard. We'll get Randall in for the faceoff. Puck's down. Taken by Troush. He'll work it out the far side. Jumps around one. Shot from the top of the circle. Makes a save. Hold down by Molden. So the faceoff will come to his right. Some discussing of Mom's cinnamon roll recipe by the players. They'll touch base after the game. Randall, Troush, and Fugger out. Randall to the dot. One by Randall. Over to Meehan. Sends it to the corner. Randall back behind the net. Works it to the near side. Centering pass knocked away by Ames. They'll get it out to center ice. Meehan has it there. Dumps it back into the zone. Randall will be the first one to it. Oh, he had Troush in the middle. Couldn't get him the puck. Ames takes it away, and they'll force it towards the boards. Hard off the glass and out. Baumgard races to the corner. He'll circle it back behind the net. Takes it to the far side. Centering pass is blocked by Mullenkamp. Ames now back behind the net. Sends it out in front. Taken away by Troush. Knocked off his stick. Randall the other way. Could be a trip. There it is. Took a little bit. Why, I have no idea. He was tripped in the blue line, slid all the way to the goal line, and that's where we decided to call it. But, hey, as long as we get the result, that's all we care about. So Ames back on the penalty kill. I'm not sure that Dubuque has had a penalty yet today. Let's check the stats. They have not. Face-off down, back to Mullenkamp at the blue line. He plays it down. Lund drops it off behind the net. Tease has it there. Sends it out to the far side. Shot fired through the slot. Nobody home. Goes the length of the ice, and Breen will stop it on the goal line. Tees it up there for Mullenkamp, who will go behind the net. He's got Borat hot on his heels. Plays it in front of the Ames bench. Dumps it into the zone. Slow roller to Molden. He'll blade it off to the side. Knocked off his stick. Ames sends it back out. Mullenkamp grabs it at the blue line. Baumgard now making life hard on Mullenkamp. Big hit into the boards. Troush comes in. That's not Troush, it's Tease. Molenkamp's going to get a cross-checking penalty. So there's that first Dubuque power play. I should just stop pointing these things out. 4-on-4 hockey for 1:15, and Ames will go on a power play for 45 seconds. Oh, they've got 30 people watching theirs. I think they called people to get them in. Only 20 people watching my broadcast. Randall into the dot. Puck's down. Controlled by Cooper Smith. Spins away from one. Long Brent stretch pass. Holes just gets a piece of it to avoid the icing. Wheels it to the corner. Cooper Smith ducks around one. Loses his stick. Fired on Molden. He'll hold on for the whistle. We'll get Randall into the dot. Ames fires it around the near boards. Huger sends it across the ice. Ames controls there. Sends it back behind the net. Huger battles for the puck on the end boards. Now he gets away with it. Advances it up the ice. He's got Poles and Randall in front of him. Drives it down the boards. Turns it over there. Ames will kick it back out. All the way up to center ice. Randall chases him down, takes the puck away from behind. He'll go the other way up the far side. Tries to chip it on one, held by the Ames D. Now sent back. Right behind the goal. Ames pulls it off the wall. Sends it down the ice. Ames across the red line. Plays it in. Centering pass. Tyler Randall's shot is blocked wide. Outplayed back. Cooper Smith has it. Sends it around to the far side of the boards. Borat holds it in at the blue line. Ames on the power play for 30 seconds. Gets it down to the faceoff dot. Swaps out the power play unit. Borat walks it over to the near side. Dumps it down the boards. They're running an overload. Sends Borat right through the middle. Shot, goal. So with 9:12 left in the third period, Ames jumps on the board, 1-0 on the power play goal. Owen Troush now in his own zone. He'll work it out to center ice. Gets it ahead to Palmer. Played ahead. Troush has it in his own defensive zone. Spins it back to the corner. Now he'll cut back up the boards. Hard off the glass. All the way back to the Ames defensive zone. Ames has it. Top of the circle, so work it out to neutral ice. Into the attacking zone. Carino takes a big hit there. Elsie's got it behind the net. Sends it ahead to Palmer. Palmer hits the brakes just inside the zone. Now he'll play it ahead. Knocked away by Lund. Held into the zone. Sent back behind the net. Sent to go for a change. Palmer stays out there. Played ahead. Taken away by Schrader. Just outside the blue line. He'll dump it in. Back behind Molden's net. Play it out the far side now. Ames gets it out to neutral ice. Keys takes it away before it's knocked off his stick. Ames advances into their own attacking zone just past Owen Troush. Goes back behind the net to get it. Charles sets up behind his own net. He's got a long stretch past the poles. Hits it there. Pulls in. Pulls. Hits over the puck twice. Tees now down the boards. Tries to leave it for Poles. Ames has control. They'll circle back behind their own net. Out the far side. Big hit by Poles. Little rustling match going on in the corner there. Back the other way. Ames centers the puck. Taken away by Mullenkamp. Play towards the net. Saved by Breen. Holds on for a whistle. 7:14 left to go in the third period. Shots on goal favor the Cyclones, 21-17, and they're ahead on the scoreboard, 1-0. Played back behind the net. Fugger has it in the far corner. He'll play it all the way out to center ice, taken away by Ames. Collected by Randall. Races it down the ice. Tripped up there. He'll get the call. Saints back on the power play with 7 minutes left in the third period. So we'll get Fugger, Randall, Cooper Smith, Michael Poles, Blake Schrader out on the power play. Fugger to the dot. Puck's down, played back. Fired just outside the zone. Poor communication there. Seeing Baumgartner takes it away. He'll drive it the other way. Drives it back behind the net. Works it out the near side. Saints can't quite get it away from him. Now it's poked loose. Randall back to get it. Bouncing puck sent out the far side to nobody. Ames controls. Dumps it back in. All the way down to the corner. Cooper Smith now on the goal line. Plays it back. Blake Schrader starts out behind his own net. Drops off for Fugger. Fugger in front of the benches. That's not Fugger, that's Smith. These jerseys. Back to poke loose by Boyd, and he's in on a breakaway. Shot goal. Good enough, Ames. All kinds of mistakes happen there. None that we want to talk about. Played down. Covered there. Ames coaches want a penalty.
Ames goal by number 44. Weston Moran, unassisted.
We'll get Palmer out for the faceoff. Played back to Mullenkamp. He'll get it over to Meehan. Played down. Now it's dropped off for Meehan. He'll carry it down the boards. Gets it down low. Palmer in the corner. Back to Meehan. Back to Palmer. Sends it back to Meehan. This is an odd place to play catch, boys. Meehan now back behind the net. Tries to throw it out in front. Nobody home. Ames has it. Sends it the length of the ice. No icing, though. They're still on the power play. And again, they wreak havoc in the corner. Lund circles back behind his own net. Plays it out. Ahead to Meehan. Meehan carries into the zone. Centering pass. Goes unconnected and Ames the other way. 2-on-1 if they hurry. And they do. Played off the side of the net. Kicked out to nobody. Ames at center ice now. The penalty's over. They'll dump it back into the zone. All the way around to the far side. Ames is the first to get it there. Now they'll try and bang it out. Back behind the Dubuque net. All the way back. Carter Mullenkamp plays it over to Meehan. Meehan sends it ahead. Powell takes a big hit on the blue line. Sent ahead to Maddox Mitchell. Battle back behind the net. Powell gets it there. Plays it out to the near boards. He'll send it up the boards. Knocked in by Waddick. He'll knock it out of play. Puck's down, controlled by Ames. Back around to the far side. Ames will bring it out. Out to neutral ice. Troush runs a man over there. Board plays it across. Back behind the net. Breen's got it. Plays it out to Elsie. Up to near boards. Wyatt Powell sends it around the far side to Max Mitchell. All the way back behind the net. Breen sends it up. Mitchell's got it there. I'm not sure our team came out after the intermission. Played back to the blue line. Ames shot, blocked in front. Kicks out to the high dot. Played now to the far side. Ames back to the blue line. Nice block by Powell. Saints still struggle to get it out. Back around the back of the net. Up to the near side. Ames controls it there. Now it's Waddick up through center ice. Dumps it into the zone. Back behind the net it goes. Ames lets it go all the way back out to neutral ice where it's picked up there. Advanced into the zone. Or it's shot blocked in front by Cooper Smith. Chipped ahead now. It's Elliot Troush. Knocked off his stick. Sent all the way down and covered by Molden for a whistle. Face off to come to the right of Molden. Waddick out of the corner. Ames will work it back out to the blue line. Backhanded all the way down to the end wall. Waddick will pick it up there. Ames got two players on top of him. Kicked out in front. Board shot off the post. Troush now works it back on the end wall. Knocked off his stick by Baumgard. Baumgard will work it down the far side. Behind the net he goes. Sends it out in front. Nobody home, but all the way back to the blue line. Shot from Ames. Saved by Breen. Collected there by Jack Huger. Huger chips it off the boards. Can't quite get it into the zone. Ames will counter. Back through neutral ice. Baumgard's got it there. Plays it again to the far side. Now it's Meehan. Sends it over to Mullenkamp. Out to neutral ice. Saints got a 2-on-1 the other way if they hurry. Loose in the slot, covered by Mullen. Face off to the left of Molden. Looks like T's out there to take it. Puck's down, controlled by Ames. They'll throw it out to neutral ice. Meehan plays it over to Mullenkamp, sends it back over. to Tease. Tease ahead to Poles, gets just a piece of it. Back behind the Ames net. It's worked out to the far corner. Meehan holds it in the blue line, gets it down to Schrader. Schrader down the wall, drops off for Poles. Molenkamp just holds it in. Ames takes it away. Now sends it out to center ice. Poles pokes it loose, 2-on-1 the other way. Poles and Schrader sends it over. Too hot to handle on a floating puck. With just 41 seconds left. Saints can't maintain control enough to get Breen out of the game. Dumped into the zone, wide of the net. Meehan back to get it. Plays it over to Molenkamp. Wraps around to the near side. Can't quite get enough of it. Ford chips it back into the zone. Meehan plays it at the dots. High off the glass. Held in by Ames. Now knocked out by Palmer. Back over to Meehan. Sends it ahead. Palmer chips it into the zone. 7 seconds left in the game. Played around to the far side. And that'll do it. So the final here at the JV game. 2-0 in favor of the Ames Cyclones. Shots on goal finish up at 23-19. We'll have the varsity contest here in about a half hour. Yeah, about a half hour. Thanks for watching. I'm Connor's dad telling you if you could find a rink, you could find a friend. Have a good night.